करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई। पतित पावना तुम पतित तुम के जहर निकटेंगे पाप दूर मना दयालो प्रभु के बकुत गंगार परस हले असत्य पवन दर्शन पवित्र करो है तुम्हारा दर्शन हर स्थान अपराधे तारे हरि तुम स्थान अपराधे नहीं परित्राण तुम्हारा हृदय है सदा गोविंद विशाल गोविंद कहे नामरा वैष्णव परायण प्रति जन्म करी आशा चरणेर नरोत्तमे कर दया अपनार व्यवहार कर वैष्णव गोसाई पतित पावन तुम बिन केहू नाई हे वैष्णव ठाकुर 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Srila Gurudev नेत्रले पविष्ट जयं विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजगच्छ श्री श्रीमद एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री द्वारका धाम की जय। श्री श्री अयोध्या धाम की जय। श्री श्री रामेश्वर धाम की जय। श्री श्री बद्रीनाथ धाम की जय। जय श्री श्री कृष्ण भक्ति पदायनी वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री श्री गंगा मैया की जय। श्री श्री जमुना मैया की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद लीलामृत की जय। उपस्थित समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे हरे। ऑल गोइज टू assembled devotees हरे कृष्ण। ऑल गोइज टू assembled devotees हरे कृष्ण। ऑल गोइज टू assembled devotees हरे कृष्ण। ऑल गोइज टू श्री गुरु गौरांग श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पत्तनं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नाम्ने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवति पाश्चात्यस्थाने। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदाय कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गुरुतस्य नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदेवतारिणां श्रीपरमानन्दं। Hare Krishna. So today unfortunately our Devi Shakti Mataji, who was supposed to give today's class, suddenly she became ill. She is having a high grade fever. So yesterday only I came to know that I have to do the presentation. But as of all of you know that Mataji is like, I have nowhere. Mataji, like she used to prepare very nice slides. So I just prayed to her that you please bless me so that whatever little bit I can tell about this, because she knows so much about all the disciples, and she has been here for last 50 years, and she has served Prabhupada. She has been, so there is no, yes, obviously there may be many mistakes or shortcomings, so please kindly forgive me, and any corrections, I am open for rectification. So, last time, as far, I was also there in the last class, so, yeah, yes, okay, can see. So, we have heard from Mataji up to, I think, up to here. So, you just to recapitulate, so there was a big poison in the society of ISKCON. As all of you recapitulate, that New Vrindavan, there are 4 sannyasis who came and he was preaching Mayavadi philosophy. So they got it from India somewhere, and Prabhupada was very much worried. For 1 month, Prabhupada was so upset, he could not even write his regular writings and all, everything was affected. So Prabhupada was that time in Japan. So when this incident happened, so and Prabhupada, that was the 74th appearance day, Vyas Puja of Srila Prabhupada. So last slide, if you remember, you have seen that how Mataji nicely explained that Prabhupada asked for Vyas Puja, Puspa, flower. But what others they could not understand, because for Vyas Puja, the Puspanjali is most important, and also the feast. So there is no feast, there is no flower. So everybody so Prabhupada was so upset, he was shouting at his disciples, if you don't know how to conduct Vyas Puja, why didn't you ask me? And now, if I am asking where is flower, and to everybody's surprise, in this slide you can see, so when Prabhupada asked for Puspa, flower, so then Tamal Krishna Goswami, what he is telling is Puspa, Tamal Krishna decided, Prabhupada must mean Puspanna, a fancy rice dish. I am not sure, he said. So then, this is the slide where you can see that people started cooking this rice item. Puspanna was the dish, but Prabhupada is asking for flower. So then Prabhupada said, what kind of Vyas Puja is this? With no puspa. So then Prabhupada asked, can you get some? So, and then he asked Tamal Krishna Goswami. Then Tamal Krishna Goswami was there, Maharaj. So he asked Prabhupada, so yes, I am going to get something. So Tamal Krishna grabbed Sudama. Prabhupada wants prasadam. he wants Puspanna rice. So that's what he understood. They ran into the kitchen and hurriedly started the rice preparation. So meanwhile, in the temple, the devotees, they struggle through their version of a Vyas Puja ceremony. So Kirtanananda Swami stood and began to read aloud from the introduction of Krishna, the Supreme Reservoir of Pleasure, which included a short biography of Prabhupada. But Prabhupada interrupted. So he started reading the biography of Prabhupada from this book. Then Prabhupada interrupted, scolding his disciples for concocting and for acting improperly. If you don't know, he said, then why didn't you ask me how to do this properly? So this is how the spiritual master, we have to learn from Prabhupada. If you don't know, we should ask the spiritual master, Gurudev, I don't know, please tell me how to do the things. Not doing things whimsically and displeasing the spiritual master. So then it will come. So the Japanese guest, so Prabhupada is in Japan. While this program is going on, it is in Tokyo. So Tamal Krishna Goswami was there, and Devanand Maharaj was there. So another 3 sannyasis were there, and all other some of the followers of Prabhupada, they were there, like Sudama and others. So then these Japanese guests, they were seeing all this fun, what is happening. So they could not, so here the Japanese guests present did not understand English, but they could see the spiritual master was disturbed. So from the external appearance, the Japanese devotees, they understood that Prabhupada is not happy. So Prabhupada explained that in devotional service, everything must be done properly, according to the parampara method, without concocting. So this is where the speculation, this is a big problem. And many times we disciples, we don't follow the authority. We start doing things of our own. Then it lands in disasters. That is what Prabhupada is teaching. We will observe Vyas Puja again tomorrow. So he cancelled the program. He said, come to my room. I will tell you what to do. So with that, Prabhupada closed everything. So though everybody left. So the next day, after a simple traditional ceremony, the devotees felt ecstatic. Afterward, they agreed, when one displeases his spiritual master, there is no happiness. But as soon as the spiritual master is pleased, the disciple becomes blissful. So just now I sang the song. Did you remember what is that stanza came? Haristane aparadhe, tare hari nam. Tomastane aparadhe nahi paritan. Just now I sang because of this. So if spiritual master is displeased, Krishna is displeased. So nothing is going to, so we are in trouble. Our bhakti will stop. So out of all the aparadhas, Nam aparad, Vaishnava aparad, the third aparad is disobeying the spiritual or displeasing the spiritual master. Not following his instruction. So this is the worst amongst all. And because he is in direct contact with us, who is going to deliver us to Krishna, he is going to give us Krishna. And if we displease the spiritual master, our bhakti is finished. Or the bhakti lata is uprooted. So this is what Prabhupada, of course, Prabhupada is very compassionate. So he is teaching his disciples. So now you can see this picture where thousands of devotees, they have assembled in the Janmashtami. The next day of Janmashtami is Prabhupada Vyas Puja. So the Janmashtami Vyas Puja festival in New Vrindavan had become a nightmare. Why? Because hundreds of devotees had converged there from East Coast with many others from California and even some from Canada and Europe. They had come for a blissful festival, but instead had found Srila Prabhupada's newly initiated sannyasis expounding a devastating philosophy. So obviously, if somebody is going for a festival, he will be in a very jolly mood. Oh, we'll get so many nice glorification of Srila Prabhupada, and we'll hear from different senior devotees. We'll do nice kirtan. At the end of the festival, we'll offer the Puspanjali and have a nice arti and then feast, Mahaprasadi Govinda. So everybody is expecting. They are all devotees who have assembled. They have already in connection with Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON. You can see the Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra deities there. So then a big chaos happened. What? These four sannyasis who were spreading this Mayavada philosophy, they were continuously confusing these innocent devotees. And they got confused. What these people are telling? Prabhupada is God. That is why, you heard last time, they said because we could not prove, we could not realize that Prabhupada is God, that is why he left us. And he will never come to us. And he rejected us. So many bad, Then Prabhupada was so much disturbed, so much worried. And these four only initiated by sannyasi is given by Prabhupada himself. So just imagine what will be the state. So that is why this rumor in ISKCON is very, very dangerous. Even today also. Suddenly somebody will tell something, people will believe it. Isn't it? Or something bad about somebody's spiritual master. Like these four sannyasis, they are talking about Prabhupada. And they are giving such a nice philosophy, nice logic, that because we didn't realize Prabhupada as God, that's why he left us. Just the opposite. And Prabhupada said, whoever is telling himself God, he is a dog. G-O-D, reverse it, he is a dog. That is Prabhupada's teaching. Where Prabhupada told, I am God. So these are the mental concoctions of these four sannyasis. The sannyasis, speaking informally to groups here and there would explain how devotees had offended Prabhupada and how he had subsequently withdrawn his mercy. So the spiritual master is always merciful. Even though disciples, they try to offend the spiritual master, they don't follow the instructions, they repeatedly fail to follow the vows, they're like four regulative principles. Still the spiritual master never ever rejects the disciple. You see, that's why the spiritual master is more merciful than Krishna. Isn't it? So how these four sannyas, they are spreading the rumor that Prabhupada has withdrawn his mercy. Nowhere Prabhupada is mentioned. We'll see that later on. The sannyasis revealed their special insights that Prabhupada was actually God, that none of these disciples had recognized him as such, and that all of them, therefore beginning with the sannyasis, were guilty of minimizing his position. See, this is what they are telling. See, externally it seems very appealing. Oh, Prabhupada is God, but we could not, he is Saktyavyasa avatar, so many things can be told. He is the expansion of Krishna, like that. So they are spreading this rumor. And that was why Prabhupada had left for India. He had withdrawn his mercy from his disciples. This is the worst part. If somebody says, your Guru Maharaj doesn't like you, he has withdrawn his mercy, that he will never become merciful, what will disciple think? He will leave ISKCON. He will go somewhere else. And this rumor was not confined to the New Vrindavan. These four sannyas, they were going everywhere, like Boston and all different parts. They were spreading this same rumors against Prabhupada. So now you can see here Brahmanand, Swami Maharaj and other three sannyasis. The devotees were devastated. None of them knew what to say in reply. The sannyasis, by their preaching, had projected gloom everywhere, which was proper. They said, everyone should feel guilty and realize that they had lost the grace of their spiritual master. Again, they are telling the same thing. No use trying to cheer one another up by chanting Hare Krishna or eating a feast. Everyone should accept the bitter medicine. So who is that bitter medicine? Means this Mayavada, this poison. These four are only giving to people. You are understanding the situation? These four people, they are spoiling others and they are preaching against Prabhupada. And this is pure Mayavadi philosophy. And Prabhupada has, in his books, so many places, he has refuted Mayavadi philosophy. Yes or not? Nirbhisesa, Sunyavadi, Paschatya Dastayana. What is that Nirbhisesavadi? This is what? Impersonalism. Prabhupada has condemned it. But these people are spreading this impersonalism or Mayavada. Although Prabhupada had given his disciples 3 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam as well as Bhagavad Gita, as it is, the nectar of devotion, teachings of Lord Chaitanya and other literatures, none of the devotees were well versed in them. You are getting this? So all these books like Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, teachings, all these books like the names mentioned, Nectar of Devotion, many places Prabhupada has so many verses, slokas. Prabhupada has repeatedly refuted the Mayavada. That means if these other devotees, they were regularly reading Prabhupada books, like every day we hear, Prabhupada, I think today or yesterday, some quotation was there, Prabhupada in the morning, Mangalarti, that everybody should read at least, or I think some Bhagavatam class they were telling, at least one, today only, Prabhupada Maharaj is telling, if you are not reading for 1 or 2 hours Prabhupada books, this will be the result. If we are going for preaching and facing the challenges, and now the world is full of Mayavadis, we will be simply be insulted, we will be defeated by them. And neither we can convert them to a devotee, and we lose our own faith. Mayavada bhasya sunle hoye sarvanas. Mahaprabhu gives a standing warning. Prabhupada says, if Mayavadi is coming to our temple, spit on his face. If he wants for a class, you respect him, but never ever listen from a Mayavadi. You will spoil, your entire thing will be gone. Even in Vrindavan, we see many times you go, so many. You go for visiting various places, like Vansi Bhat, one time I went. Horrible. It's pure Mayavadi they are talking. And you don't know, they look so nice, effulgent, and sannyas done, and they will be talking Mayavadan, people will listen. What will happen? That's why we have to be very careful. So many devotees wondered if the philosophy.
Doing seva
Yes.
is also of same type.
Yes. No, Mayavadi philosophy and the Vaishnava philosophy, they are 99% almost similar. The only the fault with them is they bring the Jivatma and Paramatma at the same level. They say Paramatma and God and everybody is God. You are God, you are God. They cannot bring at the same level. God is God and the Jivatma is always the servant and he is always the master. If there is that conception is not there, where is the chance of service? You are getting the point? So, if they are at equal level, then we can't serve. This is the problem. The whole philosophy of Vaishnava philosophy is we are Jivatma is Mamai Mansa Jivaloka Jivabhuta Sanatan. That means Jivatma is the servant and God, the Lord is the master. And if we are equating ourselves with God or merging with the God, then what will happen? There is no, we will lose the chance of service and we will fall down. You are getting the point? That is the main problem. So many devotees wondered if the philosophy the sannyasis were preaching was correct, but none of them knew enough of the scriptures to immediately refute it. This is the problem. We have to read Prabhupada books every day, scrutinizingly.
Even today it is
Yeah, because we don't read Prabhupada books. Yes, we have to be careful. So the devotees turned to a new GBC man, Prabhupada's appointed leaders and guardians of ISKCON. The GBC, along with other senior devotees, began carefully searching through the Prabhupada books to ascertain exactly what he had said about the position of the spiritual master. So, always spiritual master is spiritual master, the disciple is always disciple. Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Devotion, the disciple can never be equal to the spiritual master. It is an eternal relationship and Guru will always remain Guru. That is why these people, they wanted to take the position of Srila Prabhupada. You got the last time Mataji was telling nicely. So this is the problem. While he is there, Prabhupada is alive, he is there, in his presence, this is what is happening. So then, it's a serious matter actually. So then, Hayagriva announced that a letter had just arrived. Now this scenario will change. You hear attentively. Letter had just arrived from Srila Prabhupada in Tokyo. So Prabhupada understood the situation, then he wrote the letter. As soon as the devotees all gathered under the pavilion roof to hear, Hayagriva read aloud, "My dear sons and daughters." What Prabhupada is telling, addressing all the devotees, my dear sons and daughters. See, such a power is there in this. If the Guru, the spiritual master is addressing the disciple, my beloved son, and the female disciples, my beloved daughters, how much relief will be for the disciple. He'll totally relieved of all this stress, isn't it? So this is what happened. And then Prabhupada listed almost all New Vrindavan residents. So he has written the names of all the disciples. The devotees immediately felt a wave of hope. They were hopeless by this poisonous philosophy. So thus to hear Prabhupada say, my dear sons and daughters, was a great relief. So this is what so they got relief. So now you can see Hayagriva continued to read. So Prabhupada is telling, please accept my blessings. Prabhupada had not rejected them. This is the main point. Because those sannyasis was telling, Prabhupada has rejected all his disciples because they didn't consider him as God. So now Prabhupada himself is writing, I have not rejected you. I am giving my blessings to all of you. So my mercy is always with you. So then they got the solace. They got, very, very much calmed down. So the letter went on to say that Srila Prabhupada was pleased with the work of New Vrindavan devotees. So when the spiritual master appreciates, many times Prabhupada will go to different centers and he'll say, oh, you people have done nice decoration. The deities decorations are very gorgeous. I am very pleased. In his pravachan, in his Bhagavatam class, Prabhupada will encourage the devotees. That's how the spiritual master, and make the devotees more enthusiastic to serve. So the and he promised to come and visit them. So then the sannyasi was telling he will never come here, he has gone back, so you will be left. So what would have happened? These people have left ISKCON. So now they got a direct solace from their spiritual master in form of this letter. Soon he would send for other devotees to join him in India, he said. As he described what preaching in India would be like, the devotees become caught up in the momentum of Srila Prabhupada's preaching spirit. They cheered, they felt blissful. So now this matter solved. Just timely Prabhupada sent this letter, otherwise you just imagine what would have happened. This is what the spiritual master can do. So Prabhupada specifically referred to the difficulty facing ISKCON. So you can see here, Maharaj, Ramananda Maharaj is with Prabhupada, so Prabhupada is telling this is the problem in ISKCON. So poison has already spread. So purge out of New Vrindavan the non-Vrindavan atmosphere that has entered. Non-Vrindavan is Mayavadi philosophy. His letter turned the tide against the Mayavada teachings. So this one letter changed the whole scenario. The GVC then called a meeting of all disciples in the temple room, reading selections from the Nectar of Devotion. So then they started searching where all the places where Prabhupada refuted Mayavada, like Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami. They established that the spiritual master, although not God, should be honored as much as God because he is the confidential servant of God. We sing every day in Gurvashtakam, Sakshad Haritvena Samasta Sastri Ruktas Tathavha Vetaiva Sadvi Kintu Pravarjya Priya Vetasya Vande Guru Tarananam. He is so dear, so confidential servant. That is why he is respected as good as God, not his God. Next, Sevak Bhagavan and Sevya Bhagavan. Sevak means who serve. The spiritual master is the serving God. And the Krishna is his Sevya Bhagavan, means to whom service is done. So this is the difference. So several senior devotees spoke their heart's convictions, citing examples from their association with Prabhupada to prove that he had not rejected them. He was too kind. So whenever disciples do so many blunders, Prabhupada never said, I am rejecting you. He will always be tolerant. Titiksava karunika. So all these saintly qualities Prabhupada had. Especially to his disciples, he was so much favorable. What not mistakes they have done. And if somebody one time was asked, Prabhupada was asked by one of the journalists, that your people are doing this wrong things, they are fallen. Prabhupada said, yes, my movement is for fallen souls. It is not for advanced souls. So many examples are there. Prabhupada always used to encourage his disciples. So all senior disciples, though they were sharing the past experience with Srila Prabhupada, so that's how they got the solace, the confidence. The sannyasis might feel rejected because of their own guilt, someone said, but they should not project their guilt on others. So those 4 sannyasis, they are blaming Srila Prabhupada. So the false teachings, however, had dealt a blow from which many devotees would need time to recover. So once the misconception comes, it is not so easy. You see, one rumor, our negative rumor especially, false thing, our tendency is like that, we will always believe in that. And it will take long time. It is easy to damage within a few seconds. But to recover it, it takes long time. Newcomers at the festival were especially unsettled. But the cloud of gloom that had hung over New Vrindavan now lifted, thanks to Srila Prabhupada's timely letter. So, after hearing this from these 4 sannyasis, they were unsettled, means they were thinking, what is this going on? So they got confused. When this Prabhupada letter came, again they become jubilant. See, the sannyasis admitted their confusion. The GVC then phoned Kirtananand Swami in Tokyo and told him that Prabhupada's letter had resolved most of the problems, but that the sannyasis still held their misconceptions. Those four, they are not changing. Others, they understood. Oh, Prabhupada said they have trust in Prabhupada. So hearing this, Prabhupada felt his suspicion confirmed. So Prabhupada is suspecting these four are doing something against me. So certain disciples had been contaminated by the poisonous philosophy from India. So the hub of Mayavada is from India. Because other countries, they didn't know what is Mayavada. So India, they are the center. So consequently, material desires for power and control had overwhelmed them even in Prabhupada's presence. So this is the, one time I was hearing His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he was telling the greatest weapon this Maya will throw to the living conditioned soul is, I am the controller, I am God, I am God, isn't it? Because my vision is almost equal level of God, so I am God, then this is Mayavada actually. So this is the last snare the Maya throws to the living entity. I am supreme controller. The greatest sense gratification is I am controller, I am the most powerful. So turning to Tamal Krishna, Sudama and the three sannyasis with him, Prabhupada asked what they thought should be done. So Prabhupada asked what is to be done in this scenario. So with the previous day's philosophic drilling still sharp in their minds, so all these Tamal Krishna Goswami and Sudama and other sannyasis, they suggested that anyone teaching Mayavada philosophy should not be allowed to stay within ISKCON. This is, even today it is also valid. No Mayavada. If they are teaching, they can leave ISKCON. Prabhupada agreed. If these sannyasis continued to preach Mayavada philosophy, he said they should not be allowed to stay in his temples, but should go out and preach on their own. So Prabhupada didn't throw them out. He said, you can preach, but you cannot stay in the temple. Otherwise everybody will be victimized. So Tamal Krishna conveyed this message to the GBC in the US, and Prabhupada was satisfied that the problem would be adjusted. He had created his GBC to handle such matters. So on September 2nd, Prabhupada wrote Hansadutta in Germany. So Prabhupada saw many places these rumors are spreading. So he not only wrote to New Vrindavan, later all other places, like Hansadutta was in Germany that time, so he wrote a letter regarding the poisonous effect in our society. It is a fact, and I know where from this poison tree has sprung up and how it affected practically the whole society in a very dangerous form. But it does not matter. Then Prabhupada gives very nice quotations from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj was administered poison. You know, Hiranyakashipu gave poison to Prahlad Maharaj. But was he affected? No. Nothing. It did not do any harm to Prahlad Maharaj. But it did not act. Similarly, Lord Krishna and the Pandavas were administered poison. It did not act. When Krishna was struck by the Kaliya snake in Kaliya Hrad near, so this poison could act on Krishna. Everybody was scared. Lord Balram is not. Oh, I am Ananta says. Even I know who is Krishna. What is his position? He is not even afraid of me. What is this Kaliya snake will do? So Krishna was not affected by the bite of Kaliya. And also the Pandavas, they were giving by Duryodhan the poisonous laddus and all other food item. Nothing happened to them. So I think in the same parampara system that the poison administered in our society will not act if some of our students are as good as Prahlad Maharaj. So what Prabhupada is saying, the message, all of us should be good devotee as good as Prahlad Maharaj. I have therefore given the administrative power to the governing body commission. So this is the list of the governing body commission. You can see the 12 members are there. To Hayagriva in New Vrindavan, Prabhupada wrote, I am very glad to know that the GBC is actively working to rectify the subversive situation which has been weakening the very foundation of our society. So you understand, na? So here Prabhupada has selected these 12 members who are very, very strong. So like Rupanuga Das Adhikari, Sriman Bhagavananda Adhikari, Sriman Syam Sundar Das Adhikari, Sriman Satswarup Das Adhikari, Sriman Karandhar Das Adhikari, Sriman Hansaduta Das Adhikari, Sriman Tamal Krishna Das Adhikari, Sriman Sudama Das Adhikari, Sriman Balimardan Das Brahmachari, Sriman Jagdish Das Adhikari, Sriman Hayagriva Das Adhikari, and Sriman Krishna Das Adhikari. So all these 12 members were selected. So all you members of GBC, please always remain very vigilant in this connection so that our society's growth may go on unimpeded by such poisonous elements. So the role of the GBC is they have to be vigilant. Even today, every different zones in India and abroad also, they have GBCs are appointed. So the function of the GBCs, they have to go repeatedly, intermittently to those places, whether people are doing that sadhana properly, or anybody is spreading this kind of poisonous Mayavad or some other philosophy. So it is the job of the GBC members. Our preaching in New Vrindavan as well as intensified study of our literatures with seriousness is very much encouraging. Please continue this program with vigor and re-establish the solidity of our movement. So this is what Prabhupada wrote, and from the beginning I was strongly against the impersonalists, and all my books stressed on this point. So my oral instruction, means Prabhupada's lectures and instructions, as well as my books are all at your service. So how to get out of Mayavad? By regularly hearing Prabhupada's lectures and reading his books. Now you GBC, consult them and get a clear and strong idea. So that means books and his other informations. Then there will be no more disturbance. The 4 sannyasis may bark, but still the caravan will pass. So this is a very nice. Prabhupada wrote Satswarup in Boston. I am very glad to know that you are not affected by the propaganda of sannyasis, that I am displeased with all the members of the society. I am never displeased with any member. So this is the main problem. If Guru is displeased, disciple will think, that's all. So now Prabhupada is writing, you tell everybody, I am never displeased at any of my disciples. How can the Guru be displeased? He knows, he tolerates. A disciple may reject a Guru, but Guru never. Even I have seen in my own experience, like my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Gaurav Narayan, so many disciples, they left our temple. But still he is open. If they come back, Guru is Guru. He is 1,000 times more merciful than even Krishna. So then, this slide you can see, the worst was over, Prabhupada thought. For months this problem had upset him and his writing. So Prabhupada could not even write because this thing is, he was worried, he was in tense anxiety. What will happen to the movement? Relentlessly he had instructed his disciples for their own benefit and for the benefit of this movement. The disease had taken its toll, and that was unfortunate. But the devotees were being forced to turn to Prabhupada's books and apply their teachings. So everybody started reading regularly. Because of this event, people become more cautious. They started every day, all the temple authorities, regular classes, regular book reading, like we are doing here also, our books readings. So apply their teachings. So this is more important. Reading is not enough. We have to apply practically what we are learning. Vigyan, Gyan and Vigyan. That was the positive outcome. So even though some problems happened, what was the positive outcome? People become more serious in reading Prabhupada books. Now, they should clearly understand the position of the spiritual master and never again be led astray by false philosophy and sentiment. So, one has to be very thorough. In 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, all details, spiritual master's position. Now it is going on, Navajogendras. So unless one is thorough, that's why that IDC ISKCON disciple course, why it is compulsory. So we should know the position of Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, Pathapadasya. Everything should be very clear before. Otherwise people will come and they will go away. So Prabhupada's main business in Tokyo. So now so that chapter was over. Now the another scene starts here. So Prabhupada's main business in Tokyo was with Dai Nippon. So Dai Nippon is a company, basically, printing company. So considering him an important author and a vulnerable religious monk, whom Prabhupada, they had provided him a car and apartment. So you can see from this photo, this is the car given by the, Dai Nippon company, and they provided to Prabhupada and a very nice apartment to stay. Each morning they sent a private car to drive Prabhupada to Imperial Palace Park, where he could take his morning walk. Prabhupada liked the neatly planted trees and gravel walks, and he appreciated the habits of Japanese people. As he would pass, elderly ladies would bow to him from waist. You know how the Japanese, we say namaskar, they will bend from their waist, just almost half. And others would fold their hands respectfully, acknowledging his being a holy man. So Prabhupada was appreciated by everybody. So on the morning of Prabhupada's meeting with Daya Nippon, he came out of his apartment with Tamal Krishna and Devanand Maharaj. You can see Maharaj is sitting with Prabhupada and got into the back seat of Daya Nippon company car. The car proceeded through the early morning streets. Actually, there's something is missing here. And then Prabhupada, he chanted his Gayatri mantra. After this, you can see, after this, Prabhupada started the Gayatri mantra. Tamal Krishna Goswami is watching with him. A Daya Nippon junior executive escorted Prabhupada and his two disciples into an elevator and up to a spacious room with a long conference table. You can see the conference table here. Prabhupada is sitting. And Prabhupada sat down with Tamal Krishna and Devanand Maharaj on either side. So one side Maharaj, both sannyasis are sitting. Soon there entered Daya Nippon's 6 top executives, including the corporation president. Each stood behind his respective chair, and each in turn, beginning with the president, bowed slightly, just like the same way they give respect from the waist, and presented his calling card. That card, what do you call that? Visiting card. They kept it on the tables. Addressing Prabhupada, Your Divine Grace, they introduced themselves, announced their posts, and took their seats. So that is how you can see in this, they are sitting all, and Prabhupada is going to address them. We are very honored to have you here, the president began. You are a great religious author, and it is our great privilege to be publishing your books. So, Prabhupada's main business was in Japan to his spiritual master order to publish more books in all the different languages. So, his main business was that. So, for that he went to meet the company people. So, after the president had spoken briefly, tea was served. Prabhupada requested hot milk. Conversation was informal, and Prabhupada spoke of the importance of his mission and his Krishna conscious literature. So the main thing Prabhupada highlighted was what is the purpose, by Krishna consciousness, how to know the goal of life, and then it is through his literatures. No one discussed business, however, and the Daya Nippon executives soon excused themselves. They would meet again in the next morning. So they left their place, and Prabhupada was, when Prabhupada was again alone in the room with his disciples and the junior executive who had escorted them, so he is the person who escorted Prabhupada, he asked the young Japanese, "So, what is your goal in life?" By way of answer, the man gathered up all the business cards. You can see these cards. So different people have, actually this is not the exact here. So the president's card was, it will come, actually I'll read it. That lie scattered before Prabhupada on the table and stacked them with the presidents on the top, then the 5 vice presidents, next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the first vice president, and so on, putting his own card in its place on the bottom. So this person, who is the junior, who took Prabhupada, he kept his card below because he was the lowest in gradation. He then dramatically removed his card from the bottom to the stack and slapped it on the top. A graphic answer to Prabhupada's question. So actually in the previous slide, something is missing by mistake. So the Prabhupada asked, what is the goal of your life? In this, you can see the previous. So then he said, he is not giving the answer. He removed his card and put it on the top. That means what? He wants to be the president. This is what the modern education says. If the teacher is teaching us, what the student is thinking, when I will pass out, I will replace him and I will be the dean of this organization, or I will be the principal of this. This is what in the materialistic education. Or the doctor is, that's why many doctors, they don't teach the surgeries to the juniors. They, like in our branch, like cardiac surgery, it takes 10 years, 15 years. Then they will ask us to do the main surgery. So this thing, the materialistic conception. So Prabhupada smiled. To become president of the company, he said, was temporary. All material life was temporary. He explained on the basis of Bhagavad Gita that the body was temporary and that the self was eternal. So that's why you can see the same famous slide. The soul is eternal, the body changes. And it dies also, it is temporary. All the identities and positions people hankered after were based on the bodily conception of life and would one day be frustrated. So you can see he is the player here, he is the father there, and he is the old man there. So designation changes. The purpose of life therefore was not to become the temporary president of a temporary corporation within the temporary material world. So Prabhupada is teaching him this philosophy. We all are very eager to have a power position. So, but to realize the eternal soul's relationship with the Supreme Personality Godhead and gain eternal life. Prabhupada spoke for almost half an hour while the man listened politely. So, this is the thing, Prabhupada, if some disciple goes to the spiritual master and he asks for some material benefit, I want this power, this position, I want to be a temple president, I want to be the manager in the, I want to be the HOD. The spiritual master may bless him, but he will never give him Krishna Bhakti. This is what duplicity. Diplomacy or duplicity means, once we don't want Krishna Bhakti, then why to accept a spiritual master? So this is what Prabhupada is teaching. The disciples should only ask for Krishna Bhakti. Then the spiritual master will give. He knows the intention of the disciples. Mostly we go for some material benefit or some problems, material problems. At the next day's meeting, negotiations began. The conference room was different, the table smaller, you can see the smaller table, and 3 of Daya Nippon's international sales representatives sat opposite Prabhupada. Prabhupada presented his price, $1.35 per book. So he is giving, the negotiation is going on. Oh, your divine grace, one of the salesmen exclaimed. It is not possible for us to give this price. We will lose too heavily. So he is thinking of business, money platform. Prabhupada has a different goal. We cannot afford it. they explained their position, quoting paper cost and other expenses. So like that they said. Then what Prabhupada did, you see? Prabhupada began to speak about his mission. Prabhupada gave him a lecture. ISKCON's book distribution, he said, was a charitable work for the benefit of all humanity. ISKCON distributed these books for whatever donations people were able to make, and he received no profit or royalties. It was spiritual education, the most valuable literature in any case. Prabhupada said in closing, "You deal with my secretary in this regard." And he sat back in his chair, and the burden was on Tamal Krishna. So Prabhupada remained quiet. He said, "I cannot deal with it," because he explained, "This is not for our, we have not come for business." So then Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he took over. So Tamal Krishna began by saying that Prabhupada had been too kind, because ISKCON could actually never pay such a high price. He then quoted a price 40 cents lower per book than Prabhupada's quote. Mr. Tamal, this salesman, were again upset. "Please reconsider your point." A polite argument ensued. So then Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he will rethink about it. Suddenly Prabhupada interrupted. So Prabhupada was remaining silent, he started talking. Presenting himself as an impartial third party, he said he would settle the difference that had arisen between the secretary and the salesman. "I have heard both sides," he said, "and I feel that the price should be $1.25 per book. That's all." So Prabhupada finalized. Then the salesman, what is saying? "Yes, your divine grace." The salesman agreed. That's right, that is right. So then, after further negotiations, Prabhupada agreed on a contract that included a reprint of volume 1 and a first printing of volume 2 of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 2 issues of Back to Godhead, a Hindi issue of Back to Godhead, and a new book, Sri Isopanishad. ISKCON had to pay only $5,000 cash, and Dayanippon would deliver everything on credit. So these are the 3 books Prabhupada ordered, and one Hindi Back to Godhead magazine. So time is getting over. So this is the last slide for today. Prabhupada held a feast at his apartment for Dayanippon executives, who especially liked the samosa and pakoda. You can see the samosa there, and the pakodas are also there. With a watch, pakodas. They presented Prabhupada, the company people, they presented Prabhupada with a watch and continued to see to his comfort during his stay in Tokyo. Prabhupada also met a Canadian-born Japanese boy, Bruce, who was seriously interested in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada invited him to come and join him in India, and the boy eagerly agreed. So with this chapter actually ended, the 4th volume of Prabhupada Lilamrita. See, the end title was ISKCON Had a Big Problem. So we are going to start next Sunday. Hopefully Mataji will be all right, because she is having little fever and some problem, health issues are there. So you can hear the next time from Mataji. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita ki jai. Yes. Actually, they were traveling from India. Prabhupada said, in India, Mayavada was very popular. So when they came to India, they heard from different people, these Mayavadi sannyasis. And that's why the moment you hear Mayavadi, it is such a attractive this thing, it will immediately spoil your conceptions. And the another mistake they were doing, they were not reading Prabhupada books and hearing the lectures. If they were doing that, yeah, and that is the next. Yeah. So once the Mayavadi philosophy entered, so what happened? They did a offense at the lotus feet of spiritual master, because they wanted to take the position of Prabhupada. This is what the effect of Mayavada, you know.
So
They-
these were the same four sannyasis that Prabhupada left with his godbrothers?
Yes,
Godbrothers
yeah,
said
yeah.
that Prabhupada was Guru, their Guru.
Yes, same.
So they
Actually, Prabhupada didn't reject them totally. They said you can go and preach outside. You cannot stay in a temple. That came today. So you have to the whole idea is this is the real problem. And it may affect at any time in future also. You have to be very careful. That's why so many new things are coming up. ISKCON laws and ISKCON bureau, so many, they are very vigilant. And Prabhupada strictly said, no lecture in our temple by Mayavadis. Absolutely. You can respect them. Let them come and have darshan, but you cannot hear from them.
Today some comes.
Yeah. So it is
no one outside of ISKCON can get to
outside, especially Mayavadis, Prabhupada said. Obviously, not outside. We should not hear from them. Our ISKCON devotees now, they are also going outside. They are hearing here, so there is a risk. The whole point is there is a risk.
contaminated from.
Pardon?
It's very contaminated.
It is very contaminating.
Prabhupada gave instruction, don't hear from outside.
Yes.
Now everybody is...
They want to release the Rasha. They are hearing from this Baba, that Baba. Then, and in between they will put this Mayavadi and their brain will go and they'll leave ISKCON and they become Babajis. This is what will happen.
Some people in my family have become like this.
Yes.
Because many years they don't chant properly, make Vaishnava prayers.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get anything in ISKCON, let me go there. And then they say you don't have to chant, you have to...
Yes. They are not loyal to Prabhupada. The main thing is you have to be loyal to Prabhupada. And everything is there. Prabhupada has told everything needed to go back to Godhead. What more we need?
And they are sent to each other these YouTube lectures of these
Yeah,
people
that is.
listening.
Everybody's, yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Not everybody, but
Yeah. So that's why our classes even which we give, it should be based on Prabhupada's teaching. We should not too much talk from... We may give some examples, but we have to be very careful. Thank you, Mataji, for your comment. Hare Krishna. जय श्रील जगतगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, उपस्थित समस्त भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर सीतानाथ प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि।